So today I want to talk to you guys about a common factor that I notice all the time in clients' blood work when they all explain that they have either extreme fatigue, sometimes can't even get out of bed. So I thought that was one thing I would just bring to your attention in case this is also the same factor for you. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea Marie. I'm a board certified health coach, and I specialize in helping men and women who want to not just lose weight, but ultimately feel amazing in their body and take control of their health. Hey Hannah, nice to see that you're here watching. Okay, so that common factor is your red blood cells. So before I dive into that, I just want to explain how they're made and what they do for you. So the bone marrow in your body actually produces 3 blood cells. Your bone marrow produces your white blood cells, which play a huge role in your immune system. So if you have any type of infections or if you have invaders, this part of your body is going to protect you and going to help to kill those off. And then you also have your platelets. So your platelets is in charge of thickening your blood, but to the point where it's the perfect thickness. So as an example, if your blood is too thick, then you can get blood clotting. But if your blood isn't thick enough, then you can bleed out. So think of when you cut yourself, what stops you from just consistently bleeding? Well, that is your platelets. They play a huge role in helping your blood to have that perfect consistency. And then your body also produces your red blood cells. So your red blood cells actually carry oxygen all around your body. This is huge. Think about what happens when you are low in oxygen. You start to feel faint, you start to feel fatigue. Your body uses oxygen to literally take all the carbohydrates, all your fatty acids, and it breaks them down and uses it as fuel. That is what basically gives your body energy. So what happens is when a new red blood cell is created by your bone marrow, this is then transferred into your pulmonary artery, and then it is pumped by your heart into your lungs. So when your red blood cells are first born, they are deoxygenated. So they have no oxygen attached to them. And then once they are pumped into your arteries, by your heart, into your lungs, they then become oxygenated. So this is where they become alive and they do the work for you. So they are then transporting oxygen all around your body, wherever your body is needing it. So a couple nutrients that are super key and super essential to having super healthy, beautiful, strong red blood cells is there's actually a little cocktail of them. So we have B6, we have B9, and we also have B12. These B vitamins are essential for activating specific enzymes that actually build the hemoglobin. So your red blood cells are jam-packed with what's called hemoglobins. Hemoglobin is actually made in part of 4 heme chemical groups, and then on top of that, 4 amines, which are actually globulin protein. So this is what makes it a hemoglobin protein. So for that heme to properly create itself, it actually needs these vitamins to specifically activate enzymes that will help to make them strong and just essentially effective for your body so they can do the job for you. And then on top of that, our body also needs iron and copper. So iron is essential for pretty much making your the hemoglobin or the heme in your red blood cells active. The iron is actually what oxygen binds to. So with a lack of iron, our red blood cells just basically aren't going to perform effectively. And then on top of that, our body also requires copper to ultimately make sure that the hemoglobins and the heme in the red blood cells have access to the iron in your body. And then on top of that, we have our vitamin A. So earlier when I said that the bone marrow in your body is producing your 3 blood cells, which is essentially your red blood cell, white blood cell, and your platelets. Well, first what happens is they actually become stem cells. And then once your bone marrow produces stem cells, they then are converted into either red blood cells, white blood cells, or platelets. So in order for these stem cells to properly convert into red blood cells, they require vitamin A. So your body requires a whole bunch of different nutrients just to effectively make your red blood cells. So when you get your blood taken, if you get your doctor to send you to the lab to get your blood taken, they'll usually check out your red blood cell count. So this is how many red blood cells you have. This could be too high or too low. This is basically one cause of anemia. And then on top of that, they are going to check other factors like MCV, which is mean corpuscular volume. So this pretty much determines the size of your red blood cells. So as an example, if your red blood cells are too large, this is an underlying deficiency of actual B12 and also folate, and also a sign that you are dehydrated. So you can get your B12 checked. It could be totally normal, but then your MCV could be too large. And like I said, that's actually an underlying deficiency of B12. So there's lots of ways the body will hide deficiencies. And then on top of that, if your MCV is too small, then that really signifies that you are low in hemoglobin as well as in iron. So there's a lot of amazing ways that you can really check to see the health of your red blood cells. So hey Alex, hey Veronica, hey guys, thanks for joining. So if you guys have questions, feel free. If I can't answer them right now, I will always get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so as I was saying, what happens is when our red blood cell count is either too low, or if the size of our red blood cell is too small or too large, or if we don't have enough hemoglobin, or if we don't have enough stored iron, this all is going to affect the quality of your red blood cells, which means that your body isn't getting the proper oxygen it needs, which is why you are feeling faint. This is why you're feeling fatigued. This is why you can't get out of bed. It's not necessarily your thyroid. In fact, without your proper red blood cell count in your body, your thyroid isn't going to function properly, digestion isn't going to function properly, everything is going to kind of start to become weakened. So it is so essential to really make sure that we are eating the proper nutrients. So what can you do to really help to support your body with your energy when it comes to your red blood cells? Well, number one, get your blood checked. It is always a smart idea to see exactly where your levels are at. So you can get your family doctor to do this. If you have worked with me or you are wanting to work with me, then this is also not required. This is also a part of your food plan. So we will get all your blood levels checked. So just see where your levels are at, because then you can really get an idea as to what is happening. And whenever you do get your blood work done, always get a copy. So that way, if you want to see other different doctors, if you just want to get different opinions, you have your own copy. And it's always a great idea to do your own research, to really start digging and diving in and seeing, what are the deficiencies, and really just seeing what everything means and represents. It's really just a great way to really get to know your own body too. And then number two, it comes down to just eating the right foods. So, of course, you can go out and then you can go buy, B6, B9, and B12. You can go out and get vitamin A, but at the end of the day, that's not the solution. So there are two factors that are going to cause deficiencies in your red blood cells. Your food, so making sure that you just have a really great, beautiful, wide variety of foods in your diet. I speak to over 300 people on a weekly basis. And when I start asking them questions about their diet, I always find that most people say, I don't have time. I don't have time. My work schedule is just way too busy. I've got 10 kids, or if they don't have kids, their job feels like 10 kids. And then on top of that, they have their relationship, they have family members, life, I get it. Life is totally, it adds up. But at the end of the day, if you want your relationship to succeed, if you want to have a healthy family, if you want to be present in the work that you do, if you want to do a good job at work, if you own a business, your family, everything is only going to go as far as the quality of your health. Think of it, like if you are so low in your red blood cells, you're low in iron, you're low in your hemoglobins, you're low in oxygen, you are going to feel like you are dragging your feet all day long. If you can't even get out of bed, how can you be there for your kids? How can you show up for your clients? How can you do a great job at work or serve your purpose in the world? So at the end of the day, your quality of life really comes down to prioritizing your body and your health. So trust me, I totally get it. I was once in a place where all I cared about was money. That was my main priority. I was managing a nightclub. I had my own house cleaning company. I had also, what else was it? Oh yes, I was working at a naturopathic doctor's clinic all at the same time. And I remember the naturopath being like, you know what? I just want to check your blood levels, see where you're at. I feel like you might be low in iron. And he came back to me and was like, oh my goodness. He's like, don't even try to have kids right now. He's like, please don't, because if you do, it won't be good. He's like, your body is not in a state. You probably couldn't even have kids even if you tried. So I remember thinking like, you know what? I don't really care. That's not my priority. I just want to work and make money. So I kind of neglected and ignored those blood levels. I really didn't care about, I would just order everything on the go, even though they were like salads from restaurants. I didn't really realize about the preservatives, all the stuff that was being added to it. Long story short, a year later, When I was making the money that I wanted, I came to a point where I literally couldn't even work. I had to take like a good 3 weeks off of work. It actually led me to quitting my job and taking a year and a half off of work. All the money that I had saved, all the money that I had made, I had to spend on just literally taking a year and a half off to restore my body and my health. And so anyways, basically what I want to get at here is, sure, you can go out, you can buy those supplements, but the best solution really to give yourself that energy is to prioritize your health and to take care of you. So this would look like essentially making all your meals, having home cooked meals, taking care of you, making your meals from scratch in your home really is a huge sign of, and just symbol and way to like give your body the love that it needs and the nutrients that it needs. Because when you make your food in home, number one, there won't be sugar added to it. You can see what's in there. And when you buy packaged foods, when you do takeout, these foods are just essentially loaded with stuff, not even nutrients, but stuff that deplete all of these levels and nutrients in your body that your body requires to make strong, healthy blood cells. When you do takeout, even if it's a salad, what's the salad dressing? Like what kind of oils have they cooked the chicken in? Or what kind of oils have they fried the fish in? It sounds like nothing, but when you do it every single day, it really adds up. It makes a really big difference in the quality of your health. So yes, home cooked meals is one of the number one things that you can do to really just ensure that you are getting good quality nutrients, but also a wide variety of nutrients in your diet. When you are low in B9, B6, and B12, and iron and copper and vitamin A, when you get a wide variety of foods, of whole foods in your diet, you will top up all these levels. So you can do, as an example, you can do liver. I know lots of people hate it when I say that, but you can do liver. Liver is actually high in active vitamin A. So your liver typically has to convert vitamin A for you, but when you eat liver, it's actually already converted. So make sure to get good quality liver, and then you'll get high doses of vitamin A that are active. You also have high doses of biotin and your other B vitamins, which are so essential for hair, skin, and nails. And you are going to be also providing yourself with iron that your body needs to build healthy, red, beautiful blood cells. And then also stress. I know, I didn't believe, I was probably the last person, if you had told me in the past that stress was affecting my health, I would have just completely laughed in your face. I was, a textbook science kind of girl, and it wasn't until I realized the stress that my job, my relationship had on my health that was causing me to basically not have the energy that I needed to cook my meals and to do all the things that I knew I needed to do. So, stress plays a huge role. It also depletes your body's ability to make red blood cells, to create hemoglobin, to create heme, and to, have copper essentially bind iron into those red blood cells. So it all works together. So like I said, making sure that you are doing what you can to really focus and just to cater to your stress levels, but really just getting down to having a diet that consists of whole foods and just a really good variety of whole foods. This will really top you up. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this live. If you guys are struggling with your energy, if you're struggling with weight loss, if you are so confused with nutrition, because I get it, there's like a million different diets out there, and I get how it can be extremely overwhelming not knowing what to do or where to start. That is where I come in. That is where I am here to support you and to help you. So what I have for you is a 3-month, so it's a 12-week program. We will get you your blood work done. We'll see where your red blood cells are at, your white blood cells, your liver enzymes, your C-reactive protein. This tells us what's happening for inflammation in your body. We'll see basically what is happening. And then what I do is I actually send your blood levels to Germany. And I work with a company called Metabolic Balance. This is designed by a doctor. And he has basically provided this program to other doctors, different practitioners and nurses and dietitians to further support them in helping to support their clients, just basically balance out their body, whether that's type 2 diabetes, whether that's high blood pressure, whether that's cholesterol, anyone in metabolic syndrome, basically. So if you are wanting to educate yourself on how you can really transform your body and your health, and you want a food plan that really speaks to the deficiencies that are happening in your body to really bring everything to a beautiful balance, I would be more than happy to help you with that and to support you on your journey. So if you have questions, you can comment down below. You can also reach me privately, whether it's on Facebook or on Instagram, wherever you're following me. And we'll just go from there. I do what's called a complimentary discovery call.